Welcome back. Today is all about Japanese pan-fried gyoza. In this video, I'm sharing 3 important tips for anyone to achieve the perfect Japanese pan-fried gyoza. Also sharing how to freeze gyoza so that you can make batch and enjoy anytime you want for another month. So hope you will stay tuned to the end. Let's dive in. First, I'm going to chop cabbage finely. This cabbage will give a nice texture to your gyoza. Other than cabbage, Chinese cabbage is a great option, especially in wintertime. Then here comes tip number 1. Remove the moisture from cabbage. Sprinkle some salt and massage them until it becomes wet. Leave them for about 5 minutes, then squeeze the liquid. The volume reduced down to half so you can add more veggies by this process. As you draw more liquid out, the moisture doesn't seep out to your gyoza wrapper so that your gyoza will be crunchy on the outside. Next, chop Chinese chives finely. This is totally optional, but I like to have a nice kick to my gyoza. I have 200 grams of ground pork. This is 80-20 blend. You want to kind of fatty because it will release more juice. Here I'm adding 1 teaspoon of sugar, 1 teaspoon of grated ginger, half tablespoon of rice wine, 1 teaspoon of soy sauce, 1 tablespoon of toasted sesame oil, 1 tablespoon of potato starch, and 1 tablespoon of oyster sauce. Now if you're not familiar with this oyster sauce, it's sweet and savory and it packed with umami flavor. So it got all the flavor notes, so you can just stir fry with it and don't have to add any other seasonings. And I have a couple of recipes on my blog using oyster sauce. I linked on the box below in case you are interested. Combine everything together. I'm using spoon to be a little less messy, but go ahead and use hands if you prefer. Tip number 2, mix it until your filling reaches very pasty and sticky. If you don't mix them enough, the filling likely break apart and won't hold the juice inside. Then finally, time to combine everything. In goes half cup of cabbage, which has been drawn the moisture out, and 1 cup of chives. By the way, if you prefer more veggie heavy gyoza, you can add more cabbage and less meat in your filling. You want to keep mixing until all the ingredients are evenly distributed. It's ready to wrap up. I have my dumpling filling stage already. My favorite wrapper is the one with the rice flour in it. Rice flour brings more bouncy, chewy texture to your gyoza. If you are living in Japan, these kind are widely available in local supermarket. I recommend to try one. Having plastic wrap over the plate will prevent your gyoza to be sticking. Alternatively, you can sprinkle some flour over the surface. I grab my wrapper and scoop about 1 tablespoon of filling and place into the middle. Dip my finger into the water and draw a line over the edge. The water will help sealing the wrapper. Then start folding like making a taco. This is so hard to explain with my limited English vocabulary, but I'll try my best to explain. Going from outside to each end in and crimp it until it seals. I find that it helps to put the other pointing finger in as you crimp in so that it won't close accidentally. If this is too complicated, I would say just close them completely like this. It still keeps the juice inside. Or another way is close it, then fold each end towards the center. I wrap like this when I make boiling gyoza. With this way, it is easy enough for my kids to do it. Making gyoza is a pretty time consuming, so if you're not used to, so get your family and a friend into the action and do it together. I remember when I was little, this was me and my sister Jo when we enjoy it so much over chatting together. If you have extra gyoza, it freezes very well. Line up on the plastic flap or parchment paper. Try to leave the space between each so that it won't stick together. Then pop them into the freezer until it's halfway frozen for at least 2 hours. Then remove your gyoza from the tray and transfer onto the zip pack. In this way, your gyoza won't stick each other and won't become one big block of gyoza. I always have this gyoza in my fridge. It really helps my busy life. Now it's time to pan fry them. Lightly grease your pan with vegetable oil and put on high heat. I'm using non-stick pan, but cast iron pan works perfectly. Place your gyoza and pan fry for about 1 minute until the bottom is nicely browned. pour the water and pop the lid on. Steam them over mid-heat for about 3 minutes or so to cook through the filling. When almost all the liquid is evaporated, open the lid and continue to cook away until liquid is completely gone. This is the tip number 3. Let all the moisture away to achieve the golden crust at the bottom. This will take you another 2 to 3 minutes. To check if the filling is cooked or not, you will see small bubbles boiling up inside of dumplings. This bubble tells you that the inside is fully cooked. At this point, drizzle about 1 teaspoon of toasted sesame oil. This tiny bit of oil helps to release the gyoza easily. Before you remove them from the pan, shake your pan like this to see if it's not sticking. Cover your pan with the serving plate and then flip them over. I was so happy to see it comes out perfectly for filming, but this was for the presentation purpose, so you can also remove each pieces to your plate with a spatula, which how I normally do. If you choose flipping way, I recommend to do over the sink since it does make a bit of mess. As a dipping sauce, I mix vinegar, soy sauce, and chili oil. I also love the combination of vinegar and black pepper. Let me know what your favorite dipping sauce is in the comments section. And it's ready to be enjoyed. There are so many reasons that I love gyoza. One big reason is that this little piece covers a multiple nutrition balance. We got the carbo from the wrapper, protein from the pork, mince, and veggie from the cabbage and chives. So I feel like when I make gyoza, I don't have to make many of other dishes. What is there not to love? Maybe I can make one more simple salad and rice along with the flavorful chicken soup. This in chicken soup is actually my very first video, which is a winter staple in my family. I hope you learned some tips from this video and get ready for making one in your kitchen. And if you make one, you know the drill. Tag me on the Instagram because I always really happy to see your creations in your kitchen. And for the next recipe, you got to have a ramen together with gyoza, right? So I'm introducing vegan Japanese ramen. Here is a sneak peek. It was so creamy and tasty and savory and packed with the flavor. So don't forget to subscribe and see you on the next video. Bye bye, mata ne!